What is good, everybody? It's BBKDRAGOON talking with you today about my first impressions of Destiny 2 Forsaken. It has become sort of a tradition here on the channel, with each Destiny content release, to do one of these early opinion videos in the first couple of days, with the initial impressions of the story and also just the general vibe of the expansion. We did it with, Warmind, Curse of Osiris, Vanillity 2, Rise of Iron, The Taken King. Just keeps going back over the last 4 years. Destiny 2 Forsaken, I think more than any other time in Destiny's history, has a lot of important things that it needs to do. More so than ever, you have a lot of frustrated D2 vanilla players, or people who got burned out during Curse of Osiris, who are looking now at Forsaken wondering if this is truly the turning point for Destiny 2, and if this is the Taken King, if this is the refinement, the renaissance of Destiny 2. And I will talk about that in this video. However, it is always early days. Understand that any opinions that I'm going to be giving on the story, the art, the initial experience doesn't always translate into what the game will look like in 6 to 8 weeks and what that regular rotation is. We don't even have the raid just yet. However, with all of that said, I am extremely pleased thus far and can safely say if things continue at this pace, this will be my favorite Destiny expansion ever, as well as my new favorite story from the Destiny universe to date, if it continues to go the direction that it is. With all that said, why don't we open up with the artwork? Oh, by the way, spoilers. I'm going to do my best to not reveal many spoilers. However, if you want to go in totally blind, minimize the video, I am going to show off some really cool locations. Things, again, that I don't feel are too spoilery, but everybody has a different threshold for that. Beginning with the artwork, because frankly, Bungie has always had a great history in Destiny of pushing the limits and being a step above the rest. Forsaken, I think I can say with confidence, probably represents their best work. There are more set pieces here that had my jaw hitting the floor than ever before. Truly, the new locations that you visit in the story, the new patrol space, the Dreaming City, all of these areas elevate the level of artwork in Destiny to a place it's never been before. And I just cannot believe some of the play spaces that you're getting to play through, and especially on PC, easily one of the best looking games on the market to date, and one of the best looking games out there from a shooter standpoint. Moving on to the music, of course, it also follows that same very high quality standard that Bungie has set. Although you will notice a very big change of tone across the board with this expansion. It's darker, it has more mature vibes, and finally feels like it's returning to the Destiny universe that a lot of us fell in love with during Destiny 1. That Destiny universe that had a real sense of mystery and a sharp edge to it to an extent. Moving into the story experience, as I mentioned in the intro, is probably my favorite to date. Now, I kind of spoiled it for myself. I love watching Bife. He does great videos, and he put out a detailed breakdown of some spoilers that some of the community pieced together before Forsaken released. And I will not say whether this came to pass or whether it didn't. However, the story I experienced was awesome, and finally felt like a Destiny story that deserved the universe, the kind of ethos that it inhabits. If that doesn't make sense, just know that the story length is very similar to the Taken King story length, however with some modifications. Again, if you want no spoilers, you can hop out of this video right now. I will just say that they made the decision to utilize a lot of the different types of activities in Destiny, more so than just a segregated mission-to-mission kind of campaign. You'll be utilizing adventures, you'll be in public spaces almost the entire time. Not to say that you aren't going into missions in unique places, however, you're treated almost like the public space is the hub world. Instead of going back to the farm or the tower in between each mission, you're just going to be going back to the Tangled Shore and continuing to do public events and patrols. As you commute, you're getting to experience this new place, and it feels like a seamless experience. Not only that, the game gives you an element of choice of how you want to tackle the Barrens, the order in which you want to tackle those Barrens. And it gave itself a really cool and unique vibe, one in which the Barrens have become very memorable to me. And again, the Barrens are not a spoiler. It was heavily talked about in the marketing materials for this game. The biggest wins that I step away with from the first couple of days here is just the level of polish on Forsaken is a step above that of Vanillity 2, Curse, or even Warmind. You can tell the last, 12 to 18 months, there has been a dedicated crew working tirelessly on this. Additionally, the new Triumphs tab and the Collections tab finally put back into the game what was desperately needed at the start of Destiny 2, a lesson they learned through Age of Triumph and the record book experiments of the, Destiny 1 era. There's a ton to do from a Triumph perspective, and it lets you track any of the triumphs in that book. It really becomes like, if you want to be a completionist, the game wants you to pursue those things, and it's going to direct you to the places in which you can try and do it. Additionally, the Collections tab gives those completionists a very clear and a direct set of incentives to go for. The new enemy types add unique gameplay elements in a cohesive way. This is something that Bungie's special sauce is unparalleled with in the industry. The gameplay is just buttery smooth, feels fantastic, and again on PC represents one of the best looking games that I've ever had the chance to play. This is honestly the first time, I think, since Wrath of the Machine, in which I truly feel like Destiny is Destiny again. And I know it's early days to say that, but Forsaken to me already feels like it has gotten back to the core identity of what Destiny is. I've heard a lot of people tell me like Forsaken is what D2 should have been at vanilla. I mean, we've heard the same story in the Taken King before. The real question that I think many people want to have answered: who is this for? Is it worth coming back to Destiny 4? Is it worth buying in? I'm a player who was completely disenfranchised and totally, what would the word be? Like just given up on Bungie over the course of this last year. And I'm not ready to throw money at them for another one of these experiences. What I would say is Forsaken refines the formula. It does not overhaul the formula. And I think that's a good thing. D2 at the very start of things, at the start of D2 Vanilla, instead of them refining the formula that they had pretty well dialed at the end of Destiny 1, they tried to overhaul it. And during that overhaul, they made a massive emphasis on a casual player base and trying to introduce a new audience to the game instead of actually delivering for the hobbyists, for the people who really enjoyed D1. Forsaken is them finally delivering that Destiny that not only does a good job fostering in a brand new player, but more so gives you, the hobbyist or the regular player, the fan, a hefty amount of things to do week to week and an enjoyable looter investment game. If you just look at the week-to-week activities, the director is chock full of things now. Gambit as a new game mode, fantastic. You've got both, the daily and the weekly challenges to go after with that. You've got the strikes, the new heroic playlist, the nightfall that you're going to be doing, the new raid alongside of the old pinnacle activities like the old raid. You then have the PvP weeklies that you need to do. There, from a milestone perspective, if you're the kind of player that's going to want to be grinding this thing week to week, you have a hefty amount to do even just on one character, let alone 3 if you're that kind of, diehard player. Will this thing have legs in 6 to 8 weeks? Too early for me to tell, and I can't say. We're going to have to look at what the raid looks like and what endgame investment loops are. I would like to believe so. However, I think if you're the type of player who only plays one singular game, and you are a total grinder, like 1-2 hours a day, every day of the week, and you didn't already enjoy Destiny, Forsaken's really probably not going to shake the bottle up to the point where you go, this is a looter game or an investment game worth my 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I consider that person like the hardcore player. You are more than capable to be that player, right? With collections, the triumphs, the new, broadsword to go after. Those kind of things are going to reward those dedicated daily players who really invest in it over time. But you're going to have to be quite a big fan of Destiny in order to be that kind of person. Whereas I think if you're the kind of player who maybe puts in 3 to maybe 5 hours with it a week, Forsaken is most likely more than worth the cost of admission. You may recognize some of the footage that you're seeing here as well in the background. I'm not going to showcase all of this news strike, but it was during the course of this strike and the nostalgia that was flowing for me that really had me saying and talking to Sassy, my good friend, going, it finally feels like Destiny again. And I think I can say that with confidence, even after just the first couple of days. Regardless of what happens over the next 2 to 3 months, I think this story experience so far has been one of my favorites. the music, the artwork, and quite frankly, the new game mode Gambit have all made this very much worth it to me. Is it going to be worth it for you? The only person who's going to make that choice is going to have to be yourself. So I would love to hear what you guys are thinking of Forsaken thus far. Or if any of this video appealed to you, maybe you're one of those disenfranchised players who has no interest in getting off the fence. And that's totally fine too. I'd love to hear from you and your kind of thoughts. Let me know about it down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please thumbs it up. Subscribe for more. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll talk with you again next time.